This episode, we're going to be going over our predictions for the Week 13 of the NFL. All that and more next. You're listening to the Blitz Boys podcast. Hi, I'm Kaiden Jenkins. I'm your host. This is my co-host, Dakota McIntosh. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Kaiden Jenkins 2 and Dakota McIntosh 0. This week we're going to be going over our predictions, and as you know, Dakota is the one that runs this episode, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
All right, first game of the week, we got the Seahawks versus the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are gonna get it done. I mean, I think the Cowboys are gonna get 18 to the Seahawks 17. Cowboys, they're a really good team. They've been looking like Super Bowl contenders if they're able to stay consistent, and I don't think that Geno and the Seahawks are going to be able to get it done against them just because they're just so powerful this year.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. The Cowboys should win this game just by overall manpower. Cowboys, I have them going 24. Seahawks 17. I think it is going to be a close game because Pete Carroll does, and I mean this in the best way possible, he knows how to play a sloppy game. And what I mean by that is he knows how to take advantage of the other team's sloppiness. And the Cowboys, they've played Sunday, Thursday. 3 games in, I believe, 10 or 12 days. So if the Cowboys are going to lose one, I could see them losing this one. But in all reality, if they play a clean game and they stick to their guns, I think Dak Prescott is the better quarterback in this game. Geno Smith has been dealing with some injuries this year. And with that being said, I heard this on my favorite podcast, the Locked On Cowboys. Go give them a listen. But Geno Smith last year picked up 23 first downs with his legs. This year, he only has 5. So his struggle, the team's struggles are reflecting on that. If you can't keep a drive going, then you're not going to score a lot of points, and you have to score a lot of points in this league to win games a lot of times. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side. If either team wins, it's going to be a 1-score game, maybe a touchdown field goal game. So on there, I just really feel bad for the Seahawks. They got the Cowboys this week, and I believe 49ers next week, and then the week after they have the Eagles. And it might be vice versa, but they're playing all 3 of those teams in a 3-week stretch. It's just, I feel bad for them because that's some pretty good teams. So the Cowboys need to win this game. It is a NFC game. And if they want to try to win their division, they have to win this game. So,
yeah, they gotta pray for the downfall of the Eagles this week to kind of help with their rise to the top of the division.
So the way that it's working out right now is if the Cowboys win this game and the Eagles lose their game, whoever wins the game between the Cowboys and Eagles will be the number 1 seed in the NFC. So one of those 2 teams is either going to have the 1 seed or the 5 seed, no matter what. So it just whoever gets the ball to bounce their way. But I'm hoping it's the Cowboys, but I wouldn't be mad if it was the Eagles either. So.
I mean, there hasn't been the same leader in the NFC East since a long time. Like it's been a long time since there's been a repeat leader in that division.
Yeah.
But let's get on to the next one. We got the Colts versus the Titans. I got the Colts going 24 against the Titans 10. I know that Jonathan Taylor's going to be out for a couple games because he's getting a thumb surgery done. And I think that they're just going to be fine because they have Zach Moss, and he's an absolute beast. He won't be splitting carries between JT, giving him a little break, but I still think he's going to be the workhorse. I think he's going to be able to get it done against the Titans, so that's why I got them winning.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I'm saying Colts 17, Titans 14. Will Levis still is on a learning curve, and Derrick Henry has not been able to get it going. And with that being said, I have to take the Colts on this one. So
Yeah, next we got the Chargers versus Patriots. I got the Chargers going 31 against the Patriots 6. I think it's just going to be an absolute blowout. I mean, Chargers have been looking good, but one thing they haven't been able to do is just to win the close games, and that's why the record is what it is. But the Patriots are the Patriots, and they don't look good this year. So I got them winning in a blowout, 31-6.
I thought you were going to say the one thing the Chargers can't do is catch the football, but either way
That's
works.
true. Yeah, no.
I'm taking the Chargers in a close game. I think it's going to be 13-10. I think the Patriots defense is going to give the Chargers some troubles just because it's Bill Belichick. He always gives offensive troubles, but it hasn't happened recently. But I think he starts sorting out his defense because he's lost hope in his offense and hoping that he can turn that defense into a great one. So,
All right, next we got the Lions versus Saints. I mean, Lions had a really tough loss last week against the Packers, and I think it's going to be another tough loss this year. I think Saints going to come out top 28-24 just because if there is a game the Lions are going to lose, I feel like it's going to be this one. I can't really explain why. I just got a feeling the Lions have been looking like the better team all year. They're more consistent than the Saints. They're all honestly more dominant, but I think the Saints will be able to put it together this game and be able to come out on top.
yeah. If you don't account for the quarterback's athleticism, what team do you think reminds you the most about the Lions offense?
Honestly, I'd probably say I I'll have to go like. Are you talking like current teams, like teams
Yeah,
this
I
year?
would have to
Okay.
say it's the Falcons because they they run the
Yeah.
ball really well and they also
Yeah. They.
have a serviceable quarterback. So I'm taking the Lions in this one. I think it's a repeat of last week um, against the Saints. The Saints, they in the beginning half of the year they were good at stopping the run, but you can only stop it so many times. But if a team just continuously runs the football, you're not going to be able to stop every single one of them. And when you have Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery splitting the backfield,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lions win this one. It's going to be 24. Lions 28, Saints 24. I just have to take the Lions on this one, and I feel so sorry, but I think the Lions are making a case to try to be the best AFL team. No, AFC, sorry.
Yeah, and that's fair. And why I was asking about like if you're talking about this year and stuff about like the teams and stuff, just because I would compare them to the Cowboys when they had Zeke on his first year in the NFL, when him and Pollard were able to split carries and stuff, where they were pretty dominant. That's the team I was really looking for. I was looking at,
Yeah,
but
I would have to agree with you, but current with the scheme
mm-hmm,
and pass to
yeah,
run ratio and splitting the backfield, it's just something that the Saints aren't capable of stopping. They're capable of
yeah,
stopping people that have one good running back because they can focus all week practicing against a similar running back. But when you have to go up against two different running backs that have two different styles that can attack you two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. Now,
It really
I can see
is.
the Saints winning this game. I can definitely see the Saints winning this game, but I'm gonna have to go with the Lions on that one.
No, no hate there. No hate. All respect. I mean, it is respectable, especially as you've got our scores flipped and stuff. Close game, which I appreciate. I appreciate. But let's
Oh yeah.
get on to the next game. Let's do the Falcons versus the Jets. I got the Falcons winning 17-10. I can't go for Zach Wilson. I mean, I went for him that one week where he lost by 30 points, and the Falcons were just looking decent last week. So I can't ever go for the Jets again. Not this season at least.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing is I can't see the Jets losing another one straight, so uh I just have to put my money on the Jets. The Falcons, it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a 1 point game. I'm taking the Jets 21, Falcons 20. But on there, it's going to be a close one. And I think Brees Hall has himself a game. So,
I'll be starting him in fantasy, so hope for that. All right, next we got the Cardinals versus the Steelers. I got the Cardinals winning 24 to the Steelers 18. I think Kyler Murray's going to get his first win. I think that the Steelers have just been getting lucky winning the games because they're not a good team. They're they're probably one of the worst teams in the NFL, in my opinion. And yes, Najee had a good game last week, but I still think Jalen Warren's the answer there. But I don't think that they're going to be able to get it done against the Cardinals.
yeah, I just haven't seen the same Kyler Murray I have previously. So I have to take the Steelers on this one. Head coach Mike Tomlin doesn't lose a lot of football games. He's positive on his record, so I'm taking the Steelers on this one. I think it's going to be a messy, sloppy game with a whole bunch of calls that people don't necessarily agree with, like prior weeks. But I'm taking the Steelers 24 to the Cardinals 17.
All right, next we got the Dolphins versus the Commanders. I'm gonna make some of y'all mad. I got the Commanders beating them 28-21. I think Sam Howell is gonna be able to go in, get it done. The Dolphins, they've been able to do what the Cowboys have been doing to the not so good teams. They've been just blowing them out of the waters. But I think this is the one. I think they're overlooking the Commanders, and the Commanders are going to go and they're going to surprise the heck out of them. And so that's why I got the Commanders winning because
Yeah,
I feel like you can't overlook them.
I yeah, I could definitely see that happening. But at the same time, the Dolphins have Tyreek Hill on offense and Jalen Ramsey on defense. And so I can't really bet against that when they're going against a Commanders team that the Cowboys just barely blew out. So I'm going to take the Dolphins 32 to the Commanders 28.
All right, next we got the Broncos versus the Texans. I got the Texans winning 35 to the Broncos 24. I think CJ Stroud is just going to be a better quarterback than Russell Wilson will be able to be. I think that the Broncos have been on a streak, but I think the streak's going to end
Ooh,
here.
hot take. Oh, you better post that one.
Oh, I'm gonna.
I'm not gonna say CJ Stroud is the better quarterback than Russell Wilson because I will get slandered on social media.
I said in this
You better
game. I said
rest
in
in
this
peace.
game he will.
I'll attend your funeral. So
Okay.
on there, I have the Texans winning 21 to the Broncos 18. I don't think it's due to quarterback play. I think it's due to um, just overall play. And I don't think CJ Stroud loses the second game in a row. So I'm taking the Texans to win this one.
Oh, are you gonna give a speech at my funeral too? I'm
Yeah,
asking you
I'll
before
make
it
sure that
happens.
I play. Yeah, I'll make sure I play this back. That way, people try to kill you again after you're already dead. So,
Oh, much love, thank you. All right, next we got the Panthers versus the Bucks. I got the Bucks going 20 to the Panthers 9. Panthers just haven't been able to put up many points this year, and I feel like it's going to be more or less of the same. They're just not going to be able to get the offense going. They're just going to be able to get down to field goal range, kick a couple field goals. But I think the Bucks are going to be able to run it down. I think Rashad White's going to get 2 touchdowns, and then Mike Evans is going to he's going to go for 100+ yards.
all right. Yeah. I was hesitant on this one because bad teams always seem to steal one. And this could be a game that they could steal because the Bucks aren't a great team. They have some
Nope.
good players, but they're not a great team. So I'm still choosing the Bucks, but just know I was hesitant. I'm choosing the Bucks 21 to the Panthers 13.
All right, next we got the Browns versus the Rams. I put this one up as a pretty close game. I got the Rams 21 to the Browns 20. Uh, I think as we saw last week, Kyron Williams being back was a major part of that offense. I think it's going to be kind of unstoppable for the Browns. I think Myles Garrett is going to have himself a pretty good game, but I don't think he's going to be able to carry the Browns enough to get the win.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think Myles Garrett holds the Rams to 35 points. I think it's going
35.
to be a blowout, man. Yeah, I
Wow.
think the Rams are going to go 35, the Browns 3. DTRs and concussion protocol. They're going to be starting Joe Flacco, and nobody has seen Joe Flacco play in a while. We don't know what he has. I don't have any any hope for the Browns to win this game. So if they do, you can come at me. But I'm saying the Rams 35 to the Browns 3. And I do think that Myles Garrett does have 3 sacks on the game, though.
All right, yeah, no, I think Joe Flacco may go out and be like he's playing for the Ravens again, back in his prime. I mean, he's gonna go back, he's gonna time travel and just put a Browns uniform on.
Oh, goodness.
All right, next we got the 49ers versus the Eagles. I got the 49ers winning 28-17. 49ers have just been dominant in adding Chase Young to their defense is going to put a lot of stress on Jalen Hurts. And I I just think though as of right now how the 49ers are playing and everything, they look unstoppable, and I think the Eagles are going to be a roadblock that they're just going to push right through.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happen. I do think it's going to be a close game, though, just because the Eagles seem to get calls to go their way. But I think their luck finally runs out
Controversial.
in a 2 point game. Yeah, so I think the 49ers are going to be at 35, Eagles 33. I just think that time expires on the clock before the Eagles can get down and score that field goal. So definitely taking the 49ers on this one. And it's not just because I'm a Cowboys fan, it's because the Eagles on paper are all around the better team. Now, the Eagles do have a better quarterback, but the 49ers, they have basically better everything. So,
You saying they have a better center too? Is that what
no.
you're saying? You said
I
better
mean,
everything else. I
the
mean, you said it.
one thing that did make me happy was the refs finally calling false starts on Jason Kelsey last week. So,
Yeah, I was pretty happy to see that too. But next we got the Chiefs versus Packers. I got Chiefs winning 31 to the Packers 24. I don't think Jordan Love is able to do what he's been doing. He's not going to be him in this game. It hurts me to say. It hurts me
so
to say
you're
because I've been
saying
on the Jordan Love
you
train.
You're saying Jordan Love is not that guy finally?
Not in this game. This game, he won't be that guy. Pat Mahomes is going to be that guy, as he normally is. But
Yeah. Jordan Love is still not that guy. Packers defense did look legit. They definitely looked legit on Thanksgiving, but I'm still taking the Chiefs 32 to the Packers 28. Just for the sheer fact of quarterbacks. Who are you going to pick to win the game?
Yeah.
Put the game on their back. Who do you think wins? It's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's very well said. Next, we got the Bengals versus the Jaguars. I got the Jaguars winning 20 to the Bengals 13. I think it's going to be another struggle week for the Bengals without Joe Burrow. I think it's going to take a couple weeks for them to figure out the offense and get a new scheme down, how to work with their new rookie quarterback. And I just think the Jags are gonna be able to come on top.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on this one, but I could very, very well see this being a trap game for the Jags, especially if the Bengals try to get Joe Mixon going, and they're successful doing so. Then I think the Bengals could potentially win this game, but I'm choosing the Jags officially 24 to the Bengals 10.
Yeah, and based off of our last week record, you beat me on that. You went 12 for 4, beating me by 2, and I went 10 for 6, putting our overall record as 40 and 21, which is still more than you at 38 and 23. But you're catching up, and that's all that matters. But you'll never catch up all the way. You're not gonna surpass me. I'm number 1.
All
I'm
right.
gonna win.
All right. Whatever you say. All I'm going to say
Alright.
is I'm going to stay humble until I'm on top and beating you. So you can stay up on top of the mountain. Just know there's only a couple weeks left, and I'm slowly climbing up there. So
I'm gonna kick that ladder off. Watch this week. I'm gonna stomp you.
uh,
I'm gonna be undefeated.
all right. Well, that about does it for this episode. Thanks for listening to the Blitz Boys podcast. I'm Kaiden Jenkins. Once again, this is Dakota McIntosh. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Kaiden Jenkins2 and Dakota McIntosh 0. And you can ask us any questions that you want us to talk about on Tuesday's episode after we review all of the games. So you guys have a good rest of your night and or day whenever you're listening to this, and we'll see you on the next episode. Deuces.
All right. Deuces.